Good evening and welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Nadun Sirivardhana. Let's have a look at the headlines. Cabinet approves shutdown of 33 loss-making state enterprises. Workers' remittance surge in August, official data show. News in detail. The Cabinet of Ministers has approved a proposal to liquidate 33 non-functional public enterprises in 2 stages under a special liquidation unit. The decision targets state entities that have become financially unsustainable and incompatible with current market requirements. The government has identified numerous state enterprises, including statutory bodies, state corporations and state-owned companies that no longer contribute meaningfully to the national economy or public services. These entities have become non-functional due to outdated objectives, incompatibility with modern market demands, financial non-viability, and impractical maintenance costs. The Special Liquidation Unit, established under the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, will oversee the 2-stage liquidation process. The move aims to eliminate unnecessary financial burdens on the government while streamlining public services and strategic economic activities. The decision reflects the administration's commitment to fiscal responsibility and efficient governance by closing enterprises that have outlived their original purpose and no longer serve public or economic interests effectively. Sri Lanka received $680.8 million in workers' remittance during August 2025, marking a strong 17.9% increase compared to the same month last year. The sustained growth in remittances continues to bolster the country's external sector and strengthen the overall economy. The central bank data shows remittances reached $680.8 million in August, up from $577.5 million in August 2024. Although slightly lower than July's record $693.3 million, the 8-month cumulative total for 2025 shows a robust 19.3% year-on-year increase, with total remittances reaching $5,116 million compared to $4,288.2 million during the same period last year. This growth is attributed to the currency flotation in March 2022, which saw the rupee move from a fixed rate of 198 to 203 rupees per dollar to market valuation, depreciating to over 360 rupees per dollar. The subsequent depreciation made formal banking channels more attractive than informal money changers. Additionally, the authorities cracked down on informal money changers who had been offering high premiums, while a record number of Sri Lankans who left the country during the economic crisis began sending earnings back home. At the current growth pace, Sri Lanka is projected to achieve its highest annual remittance income in history during 2025, potentially surpassing the previous record of $7.1 billion set in 2020. Sri Lanka and Italy have successfully concluded their inaugural political consultations in Colombo, establishing a new structured dialogue mechanism between the two nations. The talks were co-chaired by Deputy Foreign Minister Arun Hemachandra and Italy's Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs Maria Tripodi. During the high-level meetings, both countries identified multiple avenues for enhanced cooperation in workforce mobility, trade, investment, tourism, defense, energy and education. The Italian Deputy Minister called on Prime Minister Harini Amrasuriya and Foreign Minister Vijitha Herath for productive discussions. Both parties agreed to prioritize the early conclusion of several bilateral instruments, particularly the Memorandum of Understanding on Migration and Mobility Partnership and renewal of the Agreement on Mutual Recognition of Driving Licenses. Deputy Minister Tripodi appreciated the contribution of Sri Lanka's migrant workforce in Italy, which represents the 12th largest non-EU migrant labour force in the country. This visit marks the first high-level diplomatic engagement from Italy to Sri Lanka since 2016, signalling renewed commitment to strengthening bilateral relations between the two nations. Italy remains Sri Lanka's 5th largest export market and a significant source for investment and tourism. Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. The United States and Sri Lanka have jointly unveiled a preserved ancient shipwreck exhibition in Colombo, marking a significant milestone in maritime archaeological cooperation. The project was funded through the U.S. Ambassador's Fund for Cultural Preservation. The Godawaya Shipwreck Conservation Project, dating back over 2,100 years, represents the oldest wooden shipwreck discovered in the Asia-Pacific region. U.S. Ambassador Julie Chang and Minister of Buddhist Affairs Dr. Hiniduma Sunil Senavi inaugurated the exhibition at the BMICH, showcasing artifacts recovered from the ancient trading vessel. The display features clay pottery, grinding stones, glass and metal pieces, and carnelian beads that highlight Sri Lanka's historical role as a hub for Indian Ocean trade and cultural exchange. The project, initiated in 2022, has preserved nearly 200 artifacts used advanced 3D modeling techniques for site documentation. The artifacts will be permanently housed at the Galle Maritime Archaeology Museum, with an educational program underway to bring the shipwreck story to local schools. The collaboration underscores both countries' commitment to preserving cultural heritage and strengthening Indo-Pacific partnerships through cultural diplomacy. Now, the 3-day International Convention of Jehovah's Witnesses was held last week at the Sugatadasa Indoor and Outdoor Stadium premises, successfully bringing together more than 3,500 international delegates from 10 countries. The convention had been conducted under the global theme Pure Worship, marked one of the largest international faith-based gatherings in Sri Lanka this year, reaffirming the nation's ability to host world-class religious events. The annual convention by Jehovah's Witnesses delivered a significant boost to Sri Lanka's tourism and hospitality sector. Based on visitor turnout of over 14,000, organizers estimate the event generated $7.6 million in direct tourism revenue. The impact follows the precedent of a similar JW.org gathering in 2018 that contributed $6.9 million to the local economy. International attendees representing the United States, Greece, Japan, Australia, Indonesia, the Philippines, India, the Czech Republic, and Nepal stayed across more than 12 luxury hotels in Colombo. They also had their personal visits to many destinations including Galle, Pinnavala, Yala National Park, and Nuwara during the last 10-day period. The successful Colombo event is expected to encourage further opportunities for Sri Lanka to attract large-scale religious and cultural gatherings, bolstering both international goodwill and the nation's ongoing tourism recovery. Speaking at the conclusion of the convention, Secretary to the Prime Minister Pradeep Saputantri said that the collaboration between the organizers, the government agencies, and the hospitality sector has been seamless, and the benefits will be felt well beyond Colombo. The city of Colombo welcomed thousands of visitors to Sugatadasa Stadium last weekend for the international 3-day event, the Pure Worship Convention by Jehovah's Witnesses. Organizers for the event said that the event drew approximately 13,900 local residents and international delegates, boosting the city's economy and providing a surge of customers for local restaurants, hotels, and small businesses.
Jehovah's Witnesses in Sri Lanka are very happy to host this international convention. We welcome over 3,500 delegates from about 10 countries. We are happy that our guests, the delegates from about 10 countries, will have the opportunity not just to be at the convention, but to also see some of the scenic spots of Sri Lanka, the highlights of Sri Lanka, the tea country, the jewelry, the gemstones, the elephants, the turtles, all of this which we happily arrange for them. Of course, they meet their own costs, and we are also happy that they will be spending about $7.5 million in the country, which will benefit the country.
Stay tuned for the stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on negative notes today. The whole share price index dropped by 86.15 points to close at 20,905.83. The S&P SL20 dropped by 49.24 points to close at 5,955.36. The turnover was over 6.1 billion rupees and over 197 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.